Okay. Hello guys, how are you doing today? Let me know, legitimately, let me know how you are doing today. Because today, I am actually doing fairly well. It is Christmas 2021. I'm pre-recording a lot of videos just so I can have some content. That way we're set like for over the next few weeks. You know, I'm trying to be a legitimate YouTuber. I'm trying my best here. So, as of right now, we have the temporary background. We're doing fit changes. Like, we're doing it all right now. We're doing the whole shebang. I'm trying my best. But, so, I've already pre-recorded some videos that I'm going to be uploading very shortly. But this one, I feel like deserves to be at like one of the top videos of my channel. Like, I'm not going to wait to film it because it's just too good. So, I'm sure you read the title and I'm sure you're like, Frankie, what are you talking about, bitch? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? So, I am no longer allowed to step foot into a Denny's. Yes, that is true. We already established that I do not fuck with that greasy ass establishment anymore. The people that eat there are disgusting, they're revolting, they're evil, they're entitled, they're nasty. Like the fact that you can feed a family of 60 for $20 and you think you're shit to the world, like, please. Like, and I'm not shaming people who cannot afford fine dining. I'm poor, okay? I am. Like, believe it or not, I have no money right now and I'm in debt. I really am. So I'm not clowning on anybody. And if you know me, you know I love everyone, okay? Especially like, all I'm saying is I'm not shaming anyone for not having money. I'm shaming people who are assholes who eat at Denny's, okay? That's what I'm shaming. So shut up, get off my channel. If you're offended, just leave, okay? Just leave. I'm gonna put a disclaimer out there right now. That way we can clear the air. Like, just leave, goodbye. All right, let's begin the video. So, just to give a little brief history, I feel like I started all my videos like that. Let's just give a brief history. But to give a brief history, legitimately, I started working at Denny's. My official hire date was September 27th of 2020. Okay, now as we all know, in the midst of everything that was going on in 2020, that was like the peak. Like from March to December of 2020, like just a year and a half ago, was ridiculous. Like we all know that the shutdown happened in March, and just like life just went downhill for every single person in the world. I don't care if you're rich, fat, gay, poor, straight, black, white, like it affected everyone in the worst possible ways. In the worst. Me more in particular. But like, you know, like other people had it hard too, you know what I mean? But, kidding. But I started working at Denny's in the midst of this pandemic. And I started working as a host. And the only reason I started working there is because I actually knew the boss. Like we personally like knew her. She knew me when I was a baby. My mom's known her for years, back when they worked at IHOP. So we hit her up one day and I'm like, hey girlie, I need a job. And she's like, okay, you start tomorrow. And I was like, okay. That's literally how it happened, and I started the next day. And my first check, $250. Like we had no hours, no one was eating there. I was just a host. I was a measly old host making $9 an hour, like 15 and a half years old, or excuse me, 16 and a half years old. Like I had no idea what I was doing, right? But I was like, whatever. I was excited. I was doing so much. I was like, whoa, I have a job. Like I work at Denny's. I got my first check. Like I still have the copy of the very first pay stub that I had received. Like I was so proud. So flash forward, I was a host for a couple months. You know, they'd call me and be like, oh, you don't have to come in, yada, 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 yada. Red flags right there. Like don't call me 10 minutes before my shift and tell me I'm not allowed to come in. Like I need money. Like we're in the midst of I mean, I had no bills at the time, but it's like, it doesn't matter if I'm 16 years old. You don't call me 10 minutes before my shift and they're like, oh, you don't have to come in. Like, could you imagine if I called you 10 minutes before my shift and said I wasn't coming in? The double standard, thank you. Corporate America, like, can't relate. Like, when I become a businessman, like a billionaire, because it's gonna happen one day, girl, don't blame me. But when I become a businessman, like, please keep me to my morals. Like, honest to God, like, God, take me right now if I will not fulfill my morals. Like if I ever like treated like workers like that, like ew, can't relate. But say call me like 10 minutes before my shift, like immediately a red flag. So from there, I hosted for a couple of months, and the very first altercation I had at Denny's, keep in mind, at the time we had to do reservations. Yes, reservations at Denny's. Okay, so I can see people's anger, I really can. But why does that give you the inherent right to be a complete asshole? Like a complete waste of space, loser, prick, okay? And disrespect me when all I'm doing is fulfilling my job. That's all I'm doing is I'm working. And your first thought is to disrespect me. Your first thought is to disrespect me. And like literally the customers at Denny's did everything but physically harm me. And had I stayed there longer, they probably would have done that too. So just keeping it real. So the very first altercation I got into, and this was also at a time when we had a actually we had a management change. It wasn't my friend any longer, so I couldn't, you know, like she would understand me, but like this new boss was a complete asshole and she hated me. She really did. Like she would say that I wasn't productive enough or whatever. Like I'd literally be in like having a conversation with a customer. Okay, literally having a conversation with the customer, having only worked there like 3 months at this point, 3-4 months, and she'd literally come up to me just to bitch about whatever it is. Like, oh, you're saying wait times are too long. You didn't do the windows. You didn't do this. Customers are complaining about this. Blah, 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 blah. Seat summit, blah, blah. Like, it's like, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to uphold you, your rules, and keep you happy, or keep the customer happy? Like, they didn't coexist. She was an idiot. I hated her. Her name was Nancy, by the way. Stupid fat bitch. Anyway. That's besides the point. So the first altercation I got into, we had reservations. And this is where like the first time that I had ever been called racist in a job environment. Like, it's disgusting. Don't make me out to be something that I'm not, okay? And I'll tell you how the story went. So this was at a time when we had the reservations for COVID because, you know, you can't catch COVID if you have a reservation, right? That's what we were thinking at the time. If you remember that time, like when you had to reserve a spot, even going into a McDonald's, like please tell me you guys remember that. At least here in Nevada, because that was a joke, okay? It was a joke and a half. Are you kidding? If you reserve a table at a restaurant, you can't catch COVID. You're immune. But if you dare walk in unrequited without a reservation, your family has the COVID, I'm sorry. Your family has the coronavirus and you're gonna die. That's where our thought process was, right? So anyway, one time I was just going off my list. Now keep in mind, the list has nothing to do with color. It has to do with how many people I have on there named. So like if a white person comes in and their name is Jared, I'm gonna write Jared. A Mexican woman named Clarissa comes in, I'm gonna write Clarissa. A black man named Connor comes in, or Jamal or whatever, I'm gonna write that name. Like, it has nothing to do with color. Like, if you come in line, it's first come, first serve. Well, this guy, black male with his daughter, comes in and they're like, you know, I write down their name and whatnot. Keep in mind, I have like 8 tables ahead of them. Like, it was a busy day. I think it was like a Sunday morning or something like that. Just the busiest day ever. Like, they conveniently come in, and I think I explicitly said that the wait time was gonna be like 40 minutes. I think I said that. Well, keep in mind, people typically, when I give them their names, they're not allowed to sit in the lobby. So where else are they gonna go? Probably their car. So I guess this, the man, I don't even know his name or anything, like this fat ass with his daughter has the fucking audacity to come up to me and is like, you sat a white family before you sat my daughter and I. And I'm like, okay, I'm thinking, okay, maybe I did. Like, what if I did? Like, what are you gonna do about it? Like, why are you so mad? Like, it had nothing to do with color. I was just calling people. So they could have potentially been white. Now, I don't recall because it was autonomous. Like, I was just calling. So like, if I called you and you answered, I seated you. Like, that was it. Well, he thought that I was intentionally not seating them because of his skin color, and I was honestly repulsed. I was disgusted. Like, I was appalled. Like, I was like, why would he think that? Like, I honestly felt bad. I was like, what is he trying to teach his daughter growing up in this world that everyone's racist? Like, it had nothing to do with your skin color. I promise. I literally put it on my life. May God strike me down right now that it had nothing to do with your skin color. So, I was just honestly sad. But then it grew from a sad kind of like disappointment in myself to a genuine just anger and disdain for this fat asshole. Because like, Again, nothing to do with color. Nothing, not at all, nothing. Has nothing to do with color. He was just a prick. He was an asshole. So the whole time I am just livid. I'm like, really, dude? Like, are you kidding? Like, this is what we're getting into right now? So I seat them and yada, yada, yada. He asked to speak to a manager. Make a long story short, claimed he was gonna whoop my ass, but people had to calm him down and yada, yada, yada. And he didn't know I was a minor or else he would have hit me. Just like stupid shit. Like, again, the customers at Denny's are shit. They're nothing. They're nothing to the world. Like, if they all died, like if every single person that ate at Denny's died, the world would be, we'd have rainbows everywhere. We'd have rainbows, we'd have flowers. Like, I cannot do it. Again, nothing with color, just Denny's. So, and I don't have to defend myself with everything. Like, me defending myself makes me feel like I'm racist. Like, I'm not. Like it has nothing to do with that. So, to make a long story short, my boss sides with him. And just didn't want to hear my side of the story, despite me actually upholding what she told me to do, which was follow the list. Okay, she said to follow the list explicitly. Follow the list. And I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. I'm gonna follow the list. But in doing that, I got in trouble. And she wanted to write me up and legitimately fire me, like on the spot. So you know what I said? You know what I said? I said I quit. I'm putting in my 2 weeks. Give me the paper. Now, I'm gonna sign it. So, her stupid, nasty, fat, jubbly, bubbly, fucking ugly ass hands me a blank piece of copy paper. Like, no official document, nothing. And I'm like, what do you want me to do with that? You dumb bitch. Like, what do you want me to do with this clear, like, empty piece of copy paper that I could have pulled out my ass at a Walmart parking lot, okay? She's like, oh, just, write your name. So me at this point ready to grab this bitch by the throat and throw her in our meat fryer. I was so ready. Like, I was so ready to just fight this bitch. And that dude out there, like, I was just in, I was in that mood. So, from that point, I, Francisco Joseph Salazar, will no longer be working for Denny's at this very date. Signed. Like, I had to make it dramatic. I had to leave with a dramatic entrance. Like, if you know me, I gotta be that bitch. Like, I gotta get the last word. I gotta have a dramatic exit. Like, everything has to be ridiculous with me. And I'm not happy about it. I'm ashamed. I really am. I really am ashamed. Okay, people, no one's gonna believe that. No one's gonna believe that, but I was ashamed. But, so I ended up leaving that place. And then like 2 months later, my boss, old one, her name's Huda, and she had texted me. She goes, oh, hey, I'm at, this location. Want to come work for me? So I worked at that one. Then we transferred again because she moved, so I moved. Then I became a full-time server there. So from there, it was actually really good. I was making a lot of money. Bosses were pieces of shit. Customers were nasty, worthless assholes. Like, literally wouldn't care if they died, like, in front of me. Like, I'd blink, like, hated them, right? Just disgusting, but I made a lot of money. So I was like, okay, whatever, I'll do it. I'll suffer for the money. And by money, I mean like shmoney, like money. So anyway, to make a long story short, flash forward, I'm working at Michael Kors. I had quit Denny's, but I go in to eat one day. I just go in to eat with my sister and our friend Samantha. Samantha, girl, if you're watching this, you know where I'm going with this. Hey, matter of fact, I should call you. I'm not going to because you're at work right now. Unfortunately, on Christmas, ew. Like, why do they have you working? Like, that should be illegal. But anyway, Sam, I know you're watching this, girl. So we're sitting there minding our business, and my sister, who was off the clock at the time, we're just eating. It's like 1 a.m, okay? We shouldn't have been there at 1 a.m. anyway, just to preface, sure, whatever, get mad. But what I did after this 1 a.m. little thing, I do not deserve any hate for, okay? And we're gonna get into it. So, to make a long story short, what had happened is this one just ugly bitch, like, just had the audacity. Okay, let me go back. I'm the worst storyteller, I swear to God. But my sister, who's off the clock at the time, still in her uniform, kind of, had like a hoodie on, she grabs a ranch. That's all she did. She literally grabbed 1 ranch. Now keep in mind, towards graveyard, what they call like 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. graveyard shift, where it's really late. Like, Denny's doesn't anticipate to have that much business, right? So they only put 1 server and 1 cook on. Fine, whatever. Usually it's not busy enough. Like, you don't need, more than 1 server on graveyard. Well, on this particular day, it was slammed out the ass. And that server, hey Nick, he's my friend. Okay, I can talk shit about my own friend. Shut up. But Nick was just swamped, right? And I guess this one stupid bitch that had the audacity to attack my sister was waiting on a milkshake. So, dumb bitch over here, all eyes, all ears, sees my sister grab the ranch from the line and decides to walk up to my table. She decides to walk up to my table where I'm sitting. She's kind of behind like a partition, but like we're like right here and she's like over here behind like the wall. And she sticks her little stupid, fugly ass, fat ass, big lipped ass fucking head out like this and is like, oh, so you can get your own fucking shit, but you can't get my fucking milkshake, like just like cussing my sister out. And me and Sam are sat there like, bitch, like, wait a minute, like, you are not gonna attack her. So then at this point, she has a camera damn near in my sister's face and is like, what's your name? I'm reporting this, blah, 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 blah. Like, what are you reporting, bitch? That she got a ranch? That she got, y'all, she got reported because she got a ranch. Oh my God. My sister might as well have just taken a gun and lit the fucking place up. That's how bad, that's how criminal it was in this stupid bitch's mind that my sister got a ranch. Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? So, by this point, I'm pissed. So, I get up. I physically get my 6'2", 300 big titty pound ass up. Like, I'm about to fight this bitch and her sons. Like, grown-ass men's sons, by the way. So I was about to get my ass whooped, but I was ready. I was ready to go to war. So this bitch cowers away and goes to her car. Well, little miss me, I don't care, bitch. I don't care. I'm gonna walk out there and we can have a street fight right now. I'm not kidding. You and your sons, I will grab knives from Denny's, like from the back of Denny's, right? I will provide the weaponry. I'll provide the weaponry and we'll get into it, bitch. We will. So if you want to get into a fucking fist fight or you want to get into a knife fight or a gunfight, gunfight was the one she chose, by the way. We'll get into that. We can do that. Like, we can go toe to toe right now, because if you think you're going to disrespect my sister like that on my watch, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. So from this point, I don't follow her out to her car yet. I let her get to her car, and through the glass, I flip her off, I blow her a kiss, and I poke my ass out. I'm like, fuck you, bitch. Like, why are you, like, you know, like, what are you doing? Like, you have no business acting like that. Like, you're a grown-ass woman. This is a child grabbing ranch for herself. So, by this point, I walk out there because she's still recording. Still recording over ranch. Still recording my sister. 20 minutes has gone by. Flipping us off. Comes up to our window at one point. Like, no. So, by this point, I'm done. I walk out there. And this cowardly lion-ass, stupid, ugly bitch goes... it rolls down her window like this much. And I'm up to it. I'm like, what's good, sis? What's good? What's good, sis? What's happening? And she's like, I have a gun and I will shoot you. So, and rolls up the window. So I'm like, bitch, take the I'm like, get the gun, bitch, get the gun. Y'all, if I had a gun, it was going down. Okay, it was going down. Yes, it was. It was going down. I was that infuriated. I didn't care. It just, you know, the thing about guys, okay, I don't know, not technically a guy, right? Come on now. But the thing about guys is we're hardwired. Like, when you get to that, like, this is the line and you even go like that far, you're done. We're getting in a fist fight right now. Doesn't matter. So, doesn't matter what you are, who you are, what your name is, what your background is, how big you are, like, we are gonna fist fight. And one of us is gonna lose. And even if it's me, hey, at least I still try to whoop your ass, right? So by this point, she leaves. Why? I was so ready. Like, she pissed me off by leaving. Like, how are you gonna be a cowardly lion after trying to pull a gun out on me when I didn't have one? Now, if I did have one, balls to the wall, honey. Like, we can get into it. Like, baby, like, I love to tussle. I really do. But why'd you leave? Why'd you leave, babe? Why'd you leave? I feel like I'm looking at myself and not you guys. Like, do you want me to, okay, let me know if I should be looking at the camera or looking at myself, because, like, I don't know which is better. But, so after that point, about 2 days goes by, and my mom calls me in shambles. I shouldn't be airing out her dirty laundry right now, but my mom calls me in shambles, tears running down her face. And And I was like, how could you guys do this to me? And I'm like, what? Like, it didn't even click in my head, like, what I had just done. You know what I mean? So at this point, it didn't even click in my head, like, what I had done. You know what I mean? So I had no idea. Like, I'm not even thinking, like, why is my mom crying? Now, keep in mind, I do not recall ever disclosing that my sister nor my mother worked there. So I'm thinking, like, I had nothing to lose. I don't work there anymore. So it's like, if she wanted to fight, a fight is what she will have. Like, that is, we will get into it right now because I didn't work there. And I'm thinking, it's not like she would know that that was my sister and my mother. You know what I mean? But now keep in mind, my mom wasn't even there at the time. She was at home. But I'm saying, like, I guess when that dumb bitch, she literally filed a lawsuit, okay? This is how serious it got. She literally filed a lawsuit. Ew, can't relate. But she literally files a lawsuit and is like, literally like, just like making all these stupid threats. I'm like, do it, bitch. You have the footage. You're the one that threatened me. I wasn't even threatening yet, okay? Now, had I been recording, it still wouldn't have gone good for her either way. Like, she got nothing out of this besides getting me banned. But it's like, okay, fuck that greasy ass establishment. You know what I mean? Like, I lost nothing but the ability to eat Denny's food. And I guess the ability to walk in there again, but whatever. But, so I guess after that dumb bitch had showed my bosses, or my old bosses, my mom and my sister's bosses, the footage, despite me never saying they worked there, they had to reap the repercussions of that. Like, that is not fair. I am my own person. They should not be getting scrutinized or temporarily suspended over my actions, because that dumb bitch did not know that they were affiliated with me at all. She did not know that, plain and simple. She didn't. So it's like, what do you get out of that? Like, what are you getting out of that, idiot? You know what I mean? So, but keep in mind, I never really disclosed anything or signed anything that really explicitly said Francisco Salazar is no longer welcome within any Denny's establishment owned under that franchise. Because keep in mind, I can walk into a Denny's, but it's like anything owned under that, like Mancha, like for any, okay. Basically, the owner of that Denny's owns other Denny's. So it's like, I cannot go into any of those Denny's. But for dramatics, because everyone, if you know me, you know I love the dramatics, I'm just not ever going to walk into a Denny's ever again. You know what I mean? Like, till I die. Or like, maybe 30 years from now, I'll do a video, ooh, walking into Denny's for the first time in 30 years after being banned. Like, I don't know. You never know what the future holds. But that's just, that's where we're at right now. I am now banned. So, and I'm still my sister's ride to and from work. So it's like, whenever I take her, I will like just flip off like them inside because I'm in my car, but like they could see me since I'm not allowed in there. So, but yeah, that's gonna wrap up this video, the crazy Denny's stories, why I'm no longer welcome back there, and especially that one in particular. Like, I don't even want to know the havoc that I would cause if I just stepped in that one where this happened. But like I said, just for dramatics, I'm never walking into another one again. So, but that's gonna wrap up this video. I hope you really liked it, and if you did, be sure to stay tuned because we have a lot more coming, girl. So, if you like me, you want to have a little laugh, you want to be that bitch, and you want to be like me one day, keep on watching. All right, I'll see you later. Mwah.